is that adventure tourism is restricted to the Himalayas. However, we need also to recognize the fact that the realm of adventure extends beyond the Himalayas. The delegates would have seen earlier today and yesterday the various activities that the host location, the Kumarakom, has to offer. I congratulate Captain Swadesh Kumar, President Adventure Tour Operators Association of India, to have chosen my favorite location, Kumarakom, the best location of my Karma Bhumi. I'm right now working in Delhi, but I am an officer of Kerala cadre. So I call Kerala as my Karma Bhumi. So the best location of my Karma Bhumi as the venue of their 13th annual convention. Indians have been engaging in adventure tourism for millennia, climbing to places of worship like Sabarimala and Badrinath, doing hundreds of kilometers parikrama, as of Narmada, doing meditation in Himalayas or in deep, dense forests, taking a dip in ice-cold water, walking over fire, lying on a set of trishuls, have been part of our culture. Difficult location, and you will be told that you go up the shrine, have darshan of the deity, and that will bring good luck to you. Therefore, when we say adventure in Indian context, it is apt to say all travel in India is an adventure. In olden times, it involved all the three ingredients of adventure travel, that is physical activity, natural environment, and cultural immersion. Travel comfort of modern era may have minimized the physical activity component, but other two continue to be plenty in our diverse nation. I was 4 years old when I went around Varanasi. It's a Kashi, circle. My father and all of us went 60 kilometers. It took a couple of days. I don't even remember how many days it took. So that was my first adventure tourism. This is 4 years old. And then schooling in hills. So we used to go for regular trekking. But the moment one got into the job, we did some trekking, but after that one forgot, because one has something or other to keep up. So after long gap, it was in Rajesh Ojha's camps in Himachal Pradesh that I revisited adventure tourism, which I learned from my father early childhood. So thank you so much, Rajesh, for all that. He created a number of camps all over and beautiful. And I realized, for a government servant who's used to the rest houses and the washrooms of the rest houses, to have got a 5-star washroom in Manali, and the river, not Tista is the other side. What is the river? Sangla river, you go to all the way Sangla river, travel 10 hours from Shimla and go to a place, it's sure that the washroom will not be good, and here you have a great washroom. So he was so happy. As per a study conducted by Nielsen in 2015 for Ministry of Tourism, the total market size for adventure tourism in India was rupees 1,815 crores. Figures for revenue from foreign adventure tourist visits was just 26%. The rest of it was from the domestic tourism. This is one major feature of adventure tourism, which Captain Sudesh also mentioned in his speech, that and it's the kitty is large and it's growing at 30% rate, as against the foreign adventure tourism, which is growing only at 10% rate. So all of you must realize we have a large domestic pool, and it's growing also at a very, very fast rate. And I was discussing, the domestic tourists need to learn a lot. What the Prime Minister Modi has been talking about, the Swachhata. The first thing is that his idea is to involve the tourists and locals both in the Swachhata campaign, in the cleanliness campaign, in the sanitation campaign. So I think it's you, the adventure tour operators, if you really want what Rajesh in his opening address said, that conservation, that has to be the main theme. So if that has to be the theme, then the tourists have to be told. And if the pilgrimage, as I earlier said, if the pilgrimage is a subset of adventure tourism, and if you were to own up the pilgrim tourism, then you have a huge responsibility to replicate the cleanliness which you have achieved in your surroundings, in the larger surroundings of the pilgrims. So that I would urge upon you to do whatever best possible in your capacities. When we talk about adventure activities, one of the basic requisites that come into mind is the aspect of safety. And since all such activities involve physical exertion, safety of the tourists and practitioners should be paramount. Basic minimum standards devised by ATOAI was formally released during the launch of 777 Days of Incredible India Himalayas campaign in September 2013 is my information. Captain Sudesh said it is 2012. I really wouldn't know. So you will have to check on that. It was circulated to all state governments thereafter. In the last task force meeting, the task force has been set up in 2016 by Government of India. So ATOAI was requested to review the same for launching before the proposed 2018 year of adventure tourism. So I have got a copy of that. So I had a discussion with Joint Secretary Mr. Suman Billa. So we will have a look at it. By the time you give us a final copy, we will look at this. Whatever be the changes, you please let us know. We would like to work it, and if you can release it on the International Tourism Day on 27th of September, it would really be great. Approval guidelines for adventure tour operators are in place, and we need to get more organizations in the business to apply to get approved. Now, out of 15,000, if only 1,300 or 400 are there, registered. So we have a massive task ahead of us. The Ministry of Tourism has recognized adventure tourism as one of the champion sectors, and the draft tourism policy addresses the segment as such. Many of you may know, but I'll just repeat some of the ingredients of the draft policy which relates to adventure tourism. First is develop integrated plans to make the country's geographical and natural assets tangible world-class tourism experiences. Second, develop and promote brand Himalayas in collaboration with the Himalayan states. Number 3, encourage setting up of caravan parks and camping sites. Number 4, training of adventure guides. Number 5, public liability insurance policy to be made available for adventure tour operators. Number 6, draft clear guidelines for adventure tour operators, especially covering areas like safety and make accreditation mandatory. Skill development is an important area and it needs to be addressed too. I think I'm exceeding time, I will not elaborate on this. The National Adventure Tourism Task Force has been set up under the chair. I will talk about this. One of the major demands of the industry was the issue of satellite phones for use of climbing expeditions. It will be heartening for you to hear that Ministry is in the final stages of purchasing the satellite phones through BSNL so that they can be used by the approved operators. Whichever forum I have been going, I have been finding that there are a number of issues relating to GST. Some issues are, on the face of it, they have to be immediately, they should be addressed. But unfortunately, we will not be able to address. We will try very hard. I mean, within the GST group, for tourism, almost all the members, they know that all these issues should be immediately addressed. But the ministry, the Department of Revenue, and those who are at the helm of GST in the department, they feel that we will wait and watch for a couple of months more, so that there is more clarity of what is to be done. So I do not I do not promise you any change in the coming 3 months at least. I was hoping that before October, before the season starts, some of the major problems can be addressed. We are trying. Again, we have written letters at the level of minister. I have just put up the file yesterday, but we feel that there is a problem and we may not be able to address them in the next 3 months. Any agriculture activity is teamwork, and the team, what it has achieved in the last 2 days is so much clear, and I am very sure in the coming 2 days also you will achieve quite a lot.